Lucian Freud, master of psychological realism. Lucian Freud, 1922 to 2011, was one of the most influential and celebrated British painters of the 20th century, renowned for his raw, intense portraits and figure studies that delve deep into the human condition. Known for his unflinching approach to realism, Freud's work explored the physicality of a human body with an honesty that was often startling, making him a defining figure in contemporary figurative painting. Early life and background. Lucian Michael Freud was born on December 8, 1922, in Berlin, Germany. He was a grandson of the famous psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud. Lucian's father, Ernst Freud, was an architect, and his mother, Lucie Brasch, came from a wealthy Jewish family. With the rise of the Nazi regime, the Freuds fled Germany in 1933 and settled in London, England, where Lucian would later become a central figure in the British art world. Freud showed artistic talent from a young age. He attended several schools, including Dartington Hall and Bryanston School, but struggled with the traditional education system. He eventually enrolled at the Central School of Art in London, followed by studies at the East Anglian School of Painting and Drawing, under the guidance of Cedric Morris. These formative years were crucial in developing his commitment to painting, artistic development. Lucian Freud's early works were influenced by Surrealism and German Expressionism, with dreamlike qualities and experimental compositions. However, by the late 1940s, he moved toward an uncompromising form of realism that would define his mature style. His focus shifted to portraiture and the human figure, where he sought to portray the psychological depth of his subjects as much as their physical appearance. Freud's painting technique was meticulous and labor-intensive. He often worked with live models over extended periods, sometimes for months or even years, building up layers of paint to capture the texture of skin, flesh, and bone. His palette became dominated by earthy tones, emphasizing the raw materiality of the human body. Every imperfection, wrinkles, blemishes, folds of flesh, was rendered with painstaking accuracy, reflecting his fascination with the vulnerability and decay inherent in human life. Themes and style. Freud's work is characterized by its unfiltered honesty, with subjects often portrayed nude or semi-nude, revealing both physical and psychological exposure. His portraits, whether of friends, family members, lovers, or even himself, often exude a palpable tension, blurring the line between intimacy and discomfort. His self-portraits are particularly notable, chronicling his aging process with unsparing candor. Unlike traditional flattering depictions, Freud's paintings confront the realities of aging, mortality, and physical decline. Freud's style evolved over the decades from finely detailed, linear paintings to a thicker, impasto technique, where the brushwork itself became part of the emotional weight of the portrait. He often used hog-hair brushes to apply thick layers of paint, giving his portraits a sculptural, tactile quality. Major works and recognition. Throughout his career, Lucian Freud painted numerous iconic works that earned him international acclaim. Some of his most famous paintings include Girl with a White Dog, 1950 to 1951, a striking portrait of his first wife, Kitty Garman, capturing both vulnerability and strength. Benefit Supervisor Sleeping, 1995, perhaps his most famous work. This painting of Sue Tilley, a plus-size model, became the most expensive painting by a living artist when it sold at auction in 2008 for $33.6 million. Reflection Self-Portrait, 1985, one of his many self-portraits, showcasing his brutal honesty regarding his own aging features. Freud's refusal to idealize his subjects, regardless of social status or appearance, set him apart from many of his contemporaries. His portraits were celebrated for their psychological intensity, often revealing the complexities of human relationships and identity. Over the years, Freud's work has been exhibited in major museums and galleries worldwide, including the Tate Britain, the National Portrait Gallery, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Despite his fame, Freud led a notoriously private life, shunning publicity and preferring the isolation of his London studio. Personal life. Freud's personal life was as complex as his paintings. Known for his bohemian lifestyle, he had numerous relationships and fathered at least 14 children, though the exact number remains uncertain. His relationships, often overlapping, reflected his intense, passionate personality, which also permeated his work. Despite his family legacy, being Sigmund Freud's grandson, Lucian was known to distance himself from psychoanalysis, preferring to explore the human psyche through paint rather than words. Legacy. Lucian Freud passed away on July 20th, 2011, at the age of 88. His death marked the end of an era in British art, but his legacy endures through his profound influence on contemporary portraiture. Freud's work challenged viewers to confront the raw reality of human existence, stripping away artifice to reveal the beauty, fragility, and complexity of the human form. Today, he is remembered not only as a technical master, but also as a painter who redefined how we perceive ourselves and others, cementing his status as one of the greatest portrait artists of the modern age.